everybody, and how are we doing today? We got another great show for you all. We got me, Brandon McLaughlin. We got James Vest over here. We got a new set. Well, we're kind of feeling it out with the sets, you know, but since we have such a high budget, we decided to go with an apartment because we know how no one can afford those these days. So anyway, without further ado, Mr. Vest, are you ready to drop the puck?
I'm ready to drop the puck.
All right, since I forgot my sticks, CWHL and puck drop. Let's start off with the James Vest a little bit since I kind of took up the whole story segment last time. We'll give James Vest the floor for a second. James, you got anything that has to do with the Lindenwood women's hockey team or anything like that?
Well, more on just having general relations for being in the same sports program and under the same sports administration as them. But so this is just kind of a general, college hockey thing, not necessarily specifically women's. But one of the things that I found really funny is at the time when I was there, the president of the school, Dr. Spellman, really liked amping up his sports programs. He was really big in bringing in championships and titles, various ACUI, collegiate hockey, and NCAA titles to the school. And one of the real interesting things is the women's hockey team was one of the first NCAA teams from Lindenwood to break into the NCAA from the ACUI and other college affiliates. But the real interesting thing is there's a old arena up very close to that college, to that university. And they allowed the teams to practice there and use it for their games for a number of years. It was one of the side things that they did after the small expansion team folded from that area. And so when they got in, Spillman went, did his normal thing and completely revamped it, creating a whole new customized Lindenwood logo that featured not only the university that he presided over, but featured his name very prominently in the center of it. So it was kind of an interesting thing to watch happen and hearing different stories and other things come up about it. So that would be the bulk of that story for that.
I mean, and the whole thing is like the Lindenwood women's hockey team, ever since they came in D1, they're ever since they entered into D1 NCAA, going from club hockey to that, they pretty much been on the rise.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Nicole Hensley the first 4 years, and it's like, oh man, how's Lindenwood gonna do with Nicole Hensley and Shara Jasper graduating? And well, they seem to find other good goalies. You had Jolene DeBrun.
Yeah.
Now you have Sophie Wolf, which she has those paws on her pads, and even John Bucci-Cross retweeted out Sophie Wolf's one of her big saves when they were playing against Penn State.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was awesome.
So Sophie Wolf, and other than the main thing I know about Sophie Wolf, I know around Halloween the teammates of hers kept punking her, with she's afraid of spiders, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I hope they do more of that. But yeah, no, they have a lot of good. They always have a good goalie. It seems like they have good players like Taylor Gerard, and even though she was injured the whole year, I think I wasn't sure if she was injured or if she got in trouble.
But
I think somebody told me she got injured, like a shoulder injury. So.
Yeah, I think it's more of an injury versus any kind of.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I would see her sitting in the stands and all that, but
yeah.
Hopefully I will see her on the ice next year. And where's the ice going to be next year?
I'm hoping it's still going to stay there, or they might even move it down to the new facility that's coming up in Maryland.
No, they are going to move it there.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, they are going to play there. I mean, the ice house will still be there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'll use it for something, but yeah, I'm excited about that new Maryland Heights arena, man. It's 10 minutes away from where I currently live, so that's good. And the Blues will practice there.
Yeah.
That'll be good for Tarasenko as he and his wife keep popping out kids.
Yep. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, and Lindenwood men's team, women's team, and so the St. Louis Lady Cyclones.
Yeah.
So I was at the NWHL All-Star game a few weeks ago, and the Cyclones team was there. It was probably most of the players, or some of them, I don't know. But anyway, there was a lot of these coaches. A lot of them were guy coaches. But anyway, they said, we don't really have a place to practice. Like technically their practice place is where the Blues practice, at the Mills.
Yeah.
But apparently, they said that they practice, just all around in like random places. But now with the new Maryland Heights facility, they're just gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I think they even said they might have a logo on whatever ice sheet they're on.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for like standalone women's hockey teams to get logos on the ice. None of the NWHL teams have it. No CWHL team has it. So you can only have it if you're also the same name as like a men's team or if it's a college hockey team. So yeah, right. I mean, that new Maryland Heights facility, I'm excited about that, and I don't know, maybe it'll be good for anybody that travels from like Wisconsin or Minnesota whenever they play Lindenwood. But I think I kind of want I hope Lindenwood they go to the WCHA, the women's team, because they're in the CHA, which has a bunch of Pennsylvania and New York teams. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully Maryland Heights arena kind of helps all that stuff. I mean, it's good for the future of hockey in general, but I mean, I'm telling you, the future of women's hockey, it's big there,
Well, the thing I'm really kind of enjoying about watching the local scene and being a part of it is watching these young kids come up and then see success, as they get into college and as they move on from there. And it's really kind of surprising because when people, when typically you say St. Louis, hockey's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
And I'm just loving the surprise of everybody starting to come up with this. I mean, how many picks that we've had come out of St. Louis that have been in the top 10 in the last 5 years for the NHL?
Yeah, I mean, there's the draft picks. The
Kachuk brothers, several other NHLers I'm blanking on the names of. I'm sure we can look that
Luke
up.
Kunin, who dates Sophia Shaver from Wisconsin.
Yep.
You got Trent Frederick. There's another Trent. There's Grant Frederick too, but I guess he's undrafted. And then you have what's that guy that was drafted by the Leafs?
I know.
It blanks when the camera's on, the mics are on.
I'm horrible.
Joseph Woll.
There it is. Yeah.
And it's funny, like last name Woll. That's kind of a good last name. And then Clayton Keller on the Arizona Coyotes.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of good women's players too, like Jinsey Dunn. We all know that name.
Yep.
And her brother Josh Dunn apparently had a good prospect camp with the Blues. But then you got Abby Stanley, who goes to Boston University. She just won a bean pot.
Oh, nice.
With Jesse Kotfer and all them. I think I've seen her Instagram though. I think they converted her to be a Patriots and Red Sox fan. But hopefully, since she plays hockey, hopefully she still likes the Blues.
Oh yeah.
But and then anybody that has the St. Louis tie, like Nicole Hensley, she's from Colorado, but she went to Lindenwood, and now Lindenwood has an Olympic gold medalist alum. So that was cool. And of course, actually, last night was the as we're filming this, last night was the Isabel Cup final between the Minnesota Whitecaps and the Buffalo Buttes. And usually it's Nicole Hensley is one goalie, and Shannon Zabados, she's kind of a legend. She's on the team, but she had a lower body injury apparently. So I was doing something yesterday, and I got home in the second period, and I'm like, I see Nicole Hensley, I'm like, what? Nicole Hensley's a goal, and she had a great game. It's worthy of taking Shannon Zabados' spot. They unfortunately lost. It was in overtime, 49 seconds in.
Yeah, that's right.
Katie McGovern from Arizona wins the face-off, and Lee Sackline just kind of shoots it. And it looked like it might have been a weak goal at first, but I was happy to see the replays that actually went off a Buttes player's stick and it was going up and then redirected and dropped altitude.
Yeah, those are always the hardest, but I mean, at least it was a great game to watch.
Oh yeah, and if you recall the Women's World story I told you about where Nicole Hensley makes that save where she's down and she makes a save like this against Bailey Brandon. I told you that girl, a couple rows behind me, a young girl.
Yeah.
You know, young girls were like, this is why we do it. You know,
Yeah.
She was like, who's that goalie? Right. Nicole Hensley made that same exact save on the penalty kill. It was the last penalty kill I think of the game for it was against the Buttes, of course. Nicole Hensley made that same exact save, and I'm like, oh man. And she was like on the ice. She was like kind of down like this on the ice, like the same way she was in the gold medal game. I remember that because there was somebody had a picture of that, and she won like a Bucci overtime challenge thing, and she made a tweet that said, "Oh man, when Bucci Cross doesn't pick you," or something like that, and it was a picture of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't forgotten that. So it was the same exact thing. It was deja vu, and I mean, I know like Dominic Hasek, he used to do that save he made.
Yeah.
Sometimes goalies would make the same moves, but I never thought I'd see that same exact save by Nicole again. So that was cool to see. You know, deja vu, the good kind. So yeah, man. Do you have anything to add from the St. Louis side? I think the Maryland Heights facility, it's going to be I can't wait to see what it looks like. It'll be great for the future of women's hockey, you know.
Well, it's going to be a great future for hockey all around in this city, and really start, you know, not only promoting it within the high school and local collegiate system, but also in keeping it, you know, open to the public and getting more general interest. The real interesting thing about that area is it's really easy to get to.
Right. Oh
You
man.
have a couple different mass transit hubs right by, and in that area the bus system isn't horrible, which is surprising for the rest of the city. So
Yeah, and I mean they could have an NWA. The NWHL All-Star Game has gotten closer to the Midwest every year.
yeah,
So it's like, well, they could put it in St. Louis next year. Of course, the Blues have it next year.
yep.
So would it be cool if both did it in the same season, or would it be cool if one was this season and the other one was next season?
I would love to see it, you know, all happen at once,
Oh, man.
but just kind of staged out so that you wouldn't get any loss from one or the other. So maybe
Right.
staging it all over like a 4 or 5 day period. I think that would be pretty awesome.
And I think usually NHL's is in January. I think the NWHL's is always kind of early to mid-February. So I mean,
I mean that would do it. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it remains to be seen, and of course, a team could be put there. I don't know, because Danny Ryland, she's all the commissioner. She's all amped up about, you know, expanding, and she doesn't want to leave the Minnesota Whitecaps out in the Midwest by themselves. But one good thing about the Whitecaps being by themselves is that they still go on exhibition series, and they play against Lindenwood this year, so I got to see them. Not their whole team. Some of the Olympians were missing, but I got to see them. But the problem is, I ordered a Whitecaps jersey, and it arrived 3 days after that weekend. But yeah, I'd be crazy not to see the Whitecaps again, I guess, especially if they won a cup in their first year. So
For sure, yeah.
yeah, man. But otherwise, I think we kind of hit that off good. I don't think we might have any more to add to that.
I think we nailed it.